Hey, what's going on guys? It's Michael here. Today I'm going to show you how I managed to increase the return in my portfolio in just 1 month by over 59% by using a margin loan. And if you watch to the end, I'll actually break down how I was able to do this with relatively low risk using my conservative margin investing strategy. Now, before I actually show you guys my exact return and margin investing strategy, I want to give you guys a quick crash course on what margin lending is and the benefits of a margin loan for investing, where I'll go into a lot of detail as there's actually some really amazing tax benefits, which I'll also make sure to go through with you step by step. I'll talk about the risks associated with a margin loan, as there is quite a bit of risk even using a conservative margin strategy, and you need to be aware of them before you think about using one. And then I'll also go into how you can actually invest with margin in Australia, as there is more than just a margin loan. And finally, I will break down my conservative margin investing strategy for long-term growth. So guys, if this is the type of content that you guys find useful and you're going to get value out of this, let me know by smashing that like button down below for the almighty YouTube algorithm. Now with that out of the way, let's jump straight into the video. So for you guys who don't know anything about margin loans or leveraged investing, margin loans are essentially borrowing money to invest. Very similar to how you get a mortgage to buy a property, where your property will act as security to back the loan and effectively leverage your initial deposit. With a margin loan, your shares and investments are the ones acting as the security and the leverage, and they let you borrow money to buy more shares than you currently have. At a fundamental level, a margin loan is essentially just a type of secured loan. And again, similar to how when you buy a property, the maximum amount you can borrow will depend on this thing called LVR, which stands for loan to value ratio. And the higher the LVR, the more money you're actually borrowing compared to your initial deposit. So for example, if you have a 75% LVR, that means you can make up a total investment with a minimum of only 25% of your money and a maximum of 75% of borrowed money. So with $2,500, you'd be able to borrow another $7,500, making a total portfolio of $10,000. And in the case of a margin loan, lenders will actually assign different LVRs against individual investments. So VAS, for example, a very popular ETF, might have a maximum LVR of 75%, as they deem it relatively safe, whereas another more volatile investment may actually have a maximum LVR of 50%. So now going into the benefits, there's really sort of 3 key reasons why I use margin to invest in Australia. The first thing, and is really a great thing, is that you get magnified returns. They can really kickstart your investing journey during the most difficult stage of investing, which is that thing called the accumulation phase. And it actually allows you to get that snowball effect going much earlier on in your investing life cycle, as long as your overall investment return is greater than your margin loan interest rate. And I will go into and show you some tips to actually make this a bit easier. Secondly, all interest that you actually accumulate on a margin loan used for investments is tax deductible. This isn't something that's really well known and obvious straight away, and it only applies in specific countries. But here in Australia, it does apply. And I'll show you how it actually amplifies your return over time by quite a margin, as it actually reduces your effective interest rate on the loan. But before going into that, the last main benefit of margin loan investing in Australia, well actually it's just a general benefit with margin loans, is that they actually behave in quite a unique way that is different to most standard loans, like a mortgage for example, or a car loan. Margin loans typically do not have a fixed term, they're interest only. And by that I mean, they do not need to be paid back over a certain period of time, like how a home loan might be over 30 years. This is because your accumulated interest is actually just continuously capitalized back into the loan or added back to the loan. And this means that you don't actually have any monthly, weekly, or fortnightly loan repayments, for example, which is really a great benefit for sort of cash flow and just ease of use. Alright guys, so don't fall asleep for this next part because it's actually going to get pretty nitty gritty into the math. But let me run through an example using a spreadsheet that I quickly put together to really paint a picture for you about the benefits of a margin loan and what they could potentially do for you. So in this example, we'll be using a margin loan interest rate of 4.24% with initial share portfolio value of $100,000, where you would actually borrow an additional $50K taking your LVR to 33%. And for tax calculations, we'll assume that your salary is 100 grand as well. So with these assumptions, you can actually use paycalculator.com.au to show that in a simple case where you have no deductions, your income after tax would be $73,284 and you would have paid $26,716 in tax. In the very simple case where your investment return is 8% over 1 year, the amount of interest that you would have paid is $2,120, which we can actually use to reduce your taxable income by that amount. So your effective taxable salary would actually go from $100,000 to $97,880, and the amount you would pay is $25,805 in tax, making your after-tax, after-deduction income $74,195, which is a net gain of $911 from your previous after-tax income, which was $73,284. Because guys, that's how math works. No, but seriously, this is where things get really interesting. Since we've essentially gained an instant $911, we can now reduce the amount of interest paid by that amount to then calculate what our effective interest rate would have been over the year. So our effective interest paid is our old interest paid, $2,120, less the savings of $911, which equals $1,209, which actually means our effective interest rate goes from 4.24% to 2.42%. Now keep in mind, this is a very simplified example and will vary depending on your salary and marginal tax rate, where if you have a higher marginal tax rate, the gains will obviously be better, and in the reverse if your marginal tax rate is lower. Now that's just the interest rate and the savings. In terms of the returns, firstly, without using the margin loan at all, your return of 8% on 100 grand means you would have ended the year at $108,000. So that's simple. However, let's compare it to the case where you did take the 50K margin loan, then you would have ended the year instead with 162K. But then we need to subtract the loan amount and the interest accrued over the year to calculate your net equity at the end of the year, which comes out to be $109,888. The difference being $1,888 over the year versus no margin loan. So with this example, your effective leveraged return is then almost 10% rather than 8%, which you would have got normally with no margin loan. And also notice your LVR dropped by about 1% as well over that period. And in terms of the difference of the actual dollar amount return over the year, it's $9,888 versus $8,000, an improvement of 23.5%. However, that's just over 1 year. If we go and look at this over 30 years, and again in a really simplified case where we don't look at additional purchases over that period, the difference in end value would actually be over $300,000, where your LVR would have reduced down all the way to 11.51%. So as you can see, even taking a very conservative margin investing strategy over a long period of time can actually have a huge benefit and a huge difference in the total net worth at the end of that period. So as you can see, I just threw this spreadsheet together, but smash that like button and let me know in the comments if you would like that spreadsheet and you found that spreadsheet useful. And if this video gets 100 likes, I'll clean up the spreadsheet and make it into something a lot more usable for you guys and share it in the follow-up video. So now I hope it's really obvious what the potential benefits of a margin investing strategy could entail, but I also want to go over the potential risks of using a margin loan. And the first big risk is always the potential for a thing called a margin call. And a margin call will occur when the value of your portfolio falls below the lender's required amount. And this is usually in relation to the LVR on your investments and can obviously vary depending on the value of your securities and which securities you're holding. But it's usually typically sort of around 60 to 70%. And in this event, the lender will usually ask you to either provide more securities or cash to increase the value of your portfolio above the required amount. Or if you're actually unable to do this, they will instantly liquidate part or all of your portfolio in order to meet this requirement. This is an extremely worst case scenario for you, as usually this will occur as the market is obviously dropping and probably at the bottom, which is the worst possible time to be selling shares. And the next big thing you really need to be aware of is that similar to how you can get amplified gains through a margin loan, you will also get magnified losses. So for example, if you had 100 grand with a 50 grand margin loan and the market dropped by 5%, instead of usually only losing 5 grand, you would have actually lost 7.5, which is really why I think you should only think about using margin for long-term investing, where you're actually able to ride out any of this volatility in the market. And the last main risk that I want to cover is the risk of any variable rate loan, where interest rates can obviously vary over time and go up, which would actually hurt your returns and potentially, if they get high enough, make margin investing no longer a valid strategy. If your investment returns are no longer greater than the rate you're getting on the margin loan, then it's pointless to be using a margin loan and pointless to think about a margin investing strategy. So now in terms of how you can actually invest with margin in Australia, I've of course talked about margin loans, and there's plenty of different lenders who provide this type of loan. For full transparency, I'm using one from a company called Leveraged, as they have the current lowest interest rate for a margin loan. But I will leave links to a few different margin lenders in the description box below, so you can actually compare some different offerings. But let me know in the comments if you actually want me to do a detailed review on different margin loan providers in Australia and their margin lending platforms, as they are definitely not that straightforward to use, and there was a bit of a learning curve for me personally. However, there are actually multiple other ways you can invest with margin. If you currently have a mortgage, for example, with a redraw facility, you could actually get a much lower interest rate with a lot of the same tax benefits of a margin loan. However, you won't get the benefits of not having any loan repayments, since it won't be interest only at that period. And obviously you are potentially risking your property if you aren't able to meet the loan repayments. So another way to achieve leverage without actually needing to get any loans is by using things called leveraged ETFs. So I talk a lot about ETFs here, but these are completely different. These actually have leverage built in to the ETF, and this will of course attract higher management fees and will usually mean you have to deal with something called volatility drag, which will really simply even amplify your returns further in a bull market and amplify your losses even more in a bear market. And in markets that are mostly just sideways, going up and down, leverage ETFs will actually suffer from a thing called leverage decay, which would erode away at any returns and is caused by the daily rebalancing of the ETF to achieve that leverage internally. And again, let me know in the comments if you do want me to cover these leveraged ETFs in more detail, because there is a lot more in the market these days and there is a lot to know about them. Then finally, there is one final way to achieve leverage through investing, and it's using things called CFDs, options, calls, or other extremely complex financial instruments, often extremely leveraged, and you actually have the potential to lose more than your initial outlaid amount. And I would really highly recommend avoiding these, as they don't really have any place in a passive investing strategy for the long term. So now I've covered what a margin loan is, the pros and cons, and how you can actually invest with a margin in Australia. Now I want to actually outlay the strategy I'm using to achieve leveraged returns with relatively low risk, especially when combining this with a passive investing strategy using diversified ETFs over the long term. So the first part of my conservative margin investing strategy involves maintaining a low LVR. This may seem obvious, but it is critical to avoid the worst case scenario of that margin call that I mentioned before. By maintaining a low LVR, you make the chance for margin call extremely rare, but never impossible of course, while still getting very good amplified returns. Personally, I think a good balance is at around 35% LVR, as you're turning an 8% return into a 10% return like I mentioned, and it would actually take a market drop of over 50% before you would be hit with a margin call. However, this is dependent on your exact investments, but if you are investing in diversified ETFs of around 70% max LVR, then this should be the case. And a 50% drop in the entire market is obviously huge and has only happened a few times in history. It never happens instantly either, and having this buffer allows you to plan on how you may address this event in the unlikely case it may occur. The next part of my conservative margin investing strategy is to stick to diversified ETFs that provide high maximum LVRs with your margin lender of at least 60 to 70%. This will, one, further reduce your risk of a margin call as you will have a larger buffer in place. And two, it will actually provide you with appropriate diversification for long-term growth, which is something I talk about a lot in my channel. The third part is that this is a long-term strategy. You cannot apply this strategy effectively unless your investment time period is long enough to actually ride out any of that volatility to ensure that you can get your expected return. I would consider this to be at least 15 to 20 years, to be honest. And remember, you only need to achieve returns greater than your loan's interest rate to be getting a net gain over this time and over the long term. And this is very achievable. So as I promised, guys, let me share with you my margin investing returns over the past month. Here's a snapshot of my margin portfolio over 1 month between the 18th of June and 18th of July. My portfolio position 1 month ago had a value of about 204K, with 80K of that being a margin loan. LVR was actually slightly higher than my target of 35%, which is not ideal. However, after 1 month on the 18th of July, the portfolio actually had a value of 215K, and after subtracting the $280 of interest paid in that month, I had an increase of $10,403.55, or 4.94% gain in 1 month, with my net equity after subtracting the margin loan being 134K. If I didn't have the 80K margin loan, my return would have only been $6,000, or around 5% return, the difference in that return being caused by not having to pay interest, obviously. So without a margin loan, my net equity position at the end of that month would have been 131K. So in 1 month, I was actually able to get an additional $3,700, or an increase in dollar return of 59% due to the margin loan in 1 month. So that's a real life example of how much I was able to amplify my gains in just 1 month using this margin investing strategy. So there you have it, guys. That's my passive margin loan investing strategy. Really it just depends on your risk tolerance and whether your investment period is long enough to ride out any short-term volatility. And it's definitely something to consider if you tick these boxes, especially when you factor in the tax benefits as well. Now, as always, guys, if you found this video useful, I'd really appreciate it if you could destroy the like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. It really helps me out and it helps share the video to more people. And with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to subscribe for more videos about investing, money, and finance. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace.